Yeh Ratzon, Parshat Pinchas 57:81. The limud shebile refuat kol hacholim uvetocham Tanya bat Yehuda Margalit, Yosef Yair ben Aviv Chava, Harav Sivan ben Sima betoch kol shar cholei Yisrael, Leilui Nishmat Yonatan Tuvia ben Mordechai, Eitan Eliezer ben Mordechai, sitting here with Gdolei Olam. Don't worry, we're not driving, it's in a parking lot, so no one should get nervous. We have here Morin Rabbeinu Reb AJ, Morin Rabbeinu Reb Russell, Morin Rabbeinu Payas Man, some people call him Iden, and Morin Rabbeinu Reb Phil Jackson up here in the front. So we wanted to ask them a very, very simple question. If you'd have to ask what's the most important character trait in order to have a relationship with Hashem. Many people in the world, they're searching for a relationship with Hashem, but obviously Hashem is infinite, we're finite, Hashem is there, not really there, but we don't actually feel all the time the presence. So what's the most important character trait for someone to build a bridge between themselves and Hashem? So we have a hand in the back there from AJ Eyes In. He's going to go first.
I'd say consistency.
Okay, so we have answer number one from the crowd, consistency. He obviously has to explain that he didn't want to say it out loud, but that in order for us to understand Hashem, Hashem is infinite, and he went against his nature and made himself into something that's in this world that's stagnant. So Hashem was willing to do his opposite of his essence. So what AJ is saying, if you want to relate to Hashem, you have to do the same act. In our nature, we're always dynamic. And to be consistent is to go against our nature, and therefore, if Hashem made himself be mitzumtzam into a world that's physical, that's not only spiritual, which is Hashem changing his essence in order for us to have space, then if we want to make space for Hashem, we have to go against our essence, which is that we're always chaotic. And to build consistent lifestyle is to really say to Hashem, we're willing to sacrifice to you what you were willing to give for us. Do we have any more answers from the crowd? Phil Jackson.
Honesty.
Phil Jackson says that we know in the Gemara, it says that Hashem's name is Emet. The word Emet is the first letter, the middle letter, and the last letter of the alphabet. Being honest means that you don't only start things, you don't only end things, but you go through the whole journey from beginning to middle to end. That's what it means to be truthful. That you don't just say something, but you commit to it, you act on it, you live it, you affect it, and you're willing to go through that whole process. And that's what Hashem's name is, Emet. And so I think that if you think about really as much as Phil Jackson and AJ Eyes In think they're different, they're saying the same thing. Emet, truthfulness, is about being consistent with your decisions, about being reliable, about not being all full of what they call in this generation bits, that you jump around from here to there, from here to there. You do this, you do that, but you really don't do anything. So really the idea of Emet is consistent. First letter, middle letter, last letter. Do we have any other answers from the crowd? Obviously not. Payas Iden.
Responsibility.
So Payas Iden says that if you ever want to be able to have a relationship with Hashem, not only do you need to know his name, which is Emet, not only do you need to understand his essence, which is to go against your nature, and if we are dynamic to become consistent, you also have to recognize that if it's all about you, then you're trying to become a God. Meaning, when we say Shema Yisrael, we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Hashem is one. And if you try to do things on your own, and if you try to do things to self-serve yourself, you're trying to make yourself a God and therefore not relate to God. And therefore when you have a phone on you, it's called self-own, that you become owned inside yourself. You're very involved in yourself. So whenever we're holding a phone, we can't really have a relationship with Hashem because only Hashem is Echad, but not us. And so when we're saying responsibility, according to Morin Rabbeinu Reb Payas Iden, he's saying that the concept of Hashem is to realize that I'm not aware of myself, but I understand that Hashem gave me a world to be responsible for, to look at the beauty and the privilege of looking at the bigger picture. And obviously Ross is just going to watch us, but the answer is that everyone said basically the same thing. Our Parsha speaks about Korbanot, which are mainly the bridge between the world and God. And how do we go from an animal, which is the lowest, and go all the way up to Kodesh Kodashim, all the way up to Beit HaMikdash, and that journey from A to B. But there's one Korban that opens up all the Korbanot. And no matter what day of year it is, no matter if it's a fast day, No matter if it's a Shabbat, every single holiday that we speak about in Parshat Pinchas, in Parak Kavchen and Kavtet, it ends with the same sentence. Al Olat HaTamid. You want to bring something special. You want to bring a Korban for Shabbat. You're only allowed to do it after the Korban Tamid. You want to bring a Korban for Yom Kippur. Very unique. You can bring it after the Korban Tamid. And so the secret of Korbanot is that they're all founded on Korban Tamid. The Korban Tamid is that the greatest sacrifice to ever build the relationship between us and Hashem is, are you willing to commit to consistency? And like AJ started with consistency and continued with the emet of being truthful and not just starting things but going the whole journey, or being responsible and understanding the big picture, Korban Tamid is the essence of what it means to enter into a world of Beit HaMikdash. A world that says, if you are not able to be aware of the fact that consistency is not instead of inspiration, it's the foundation of inspiration. That yes, we need inspiration, we need special, we need different, but it needs to be founded on Korban Tamid. That's the foundation, that's the core, that's where it all comes from. And Baruch Hashem, I got to see today for the first time my house in Efrat, and you see Tanya building it for the last 7 years. And she's building every single thing, and she looks at every centimeter, that every fridge, the one fridge, and every oven, the one oven, and every microwave, they fit exactly. And it's giving that stability for the children to be able to be new and special on a foundation of something that says, I care. And if you're not able to be consistent, it means that you don't care. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.